Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Progressive Insurance. A grand slam for your budget. Visit progressive.com. And by Ford. Visit local.ford.com or your local Northland Ford dealer today.
It's a rainy night at the ballpark, but a special night for one of Minnesota's top prospects. It's the Target Field debut of Connor Prelip as he squares off against Seattle. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Target Field. I'm Audra Martin. Yeah, unfortunately, the rain is still coming down here in downtown Minneapolis. So for Connor Prelip, game 2 of his big league career comes with some less than ideal situations and circumstances to be pitching in. However, he does have a very solid game 1 already under his belt, a type of performance he can build on tonight. The 25-year-old debuted last Wednesday on the big stage of New York. He held the Mets to a pair of runs on 4 hits, struck out 6, and didn't allow a single free pass. He's the first pitcher in Twins history to debut with at least 6 strikeouts in fewer than 5 innings, as he shows just why he's the Twins' top-ranked pitching prospect.
Well, number one, I don't think he got sped up. I mean, you make your major league debut in New York, the game can speed up on you really quickly. Didn't see that happen. And then the second thing, the execution of the slider was really good. I mean, we saw the swing and miss with it. I think he had 4 punch outs in a row at one point, but that was probably the most encouraging sign.
He'll look for more of the same as the Twins look to set the tone for the homestand. It's the first at 7 at Target Field coming your way next.
Flash My Twins.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Progressive. Rainy night, but we are starting right on time at the ballpark here in downtown Minneapolis. Temperatures in the 40s, light wind. But Connor Prelip and the Twins vacate the first base dugout. And there is Dan Wilson. Welcome back to Dan Wilson, one of the all-time Golden Gopher baseball greats, now in his 3rd season. Managing the Mariners, coming off a magical season last year. And Seattle has won 4 straight, now 14 and 15 so far this season. And the Mariners batting order is brought to you by Ford. Seattle 23rd in baseball, averaging just more than 4 runs per game. But many guys up and down this lineup, the numbers are improving. Guys like Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Josh Naylor back in the lineup tonight. Did not play yesterday due to tightness in his quad. It's a dangerous lineup and some familiar faces at the bottom, including former Twin Mitch Garver. He will catch and bat 7th, and we will see the Target Field debut morning for Connor Prelip and his numbers on Wednesday, brought to you by CarShield.
Yeah, he did a really good job using his slider. Used it over half of the time. It's a plus pitch for him. He was able to generate a lot of swing and miss. Also mixed in that changeup occasionally. Fastball averaged almost 97 miles an hour, so he's got enough velocity to get big league hitters out. It'll be interesting now to see, after his start in the big leagues, how does Seattle approach him? Do they sit on that slider? Is it something they look for? Or sometimes if a guy's got a nasty enough pitch, doesn't really do you a whole lot of good to look for it. So see how they play it as this game goes along. And see who's got behind him. Buxton after the day off yesterday, he'll be in center. We got Larnick and Wallner in left and right, and then we've got Gray at third, Lee at short, Keyshaw at second. Cody Clemens at first. Twins are going to see 3 right-handed starters in this series. So the left-handed bats that have kind of had sporadic playing time early in the season are going to get a pretty good run here to put something together, find some rhythm in their swings. And Jeffers behind the plate had a good road trip, a couple of big swings late in ball games. Yeah, a little tough night, tough condition-wise. Still raining a little bit, but it's supposed to clear out. See if you can use it to your advantage, because the Twins have only given up 4 home runs at home as a pitching staff. So the weather hasn't been great. It's been colder than everyone would like, but you got to find a way to make it an advantage for the home team in your own ballpark.
Mariners have won 4 straight, swept the Cardinals in St. Louis over the weekend, and now former Twin Rob Refsnyder in there with a lefty, and Prelip on the mound leads off tonight for Seattle, and the first pitch is a fastball high at 95. And with that, we are underway here at Target Field. Connor Prelip on the mound and Ryan Jeffers behind the plate. Victor Caratini was the man behind the plate for Prelip's big league debut in New York last week, but Jeffers has that assignment here tonight. Now 2-0 on Refsnyder. Prelip in 4 innings against the Mets. No walks. He struck out 6. Refsnyder 2 home runs this season, including a pinch hit game winner yesterday against the Cardinals. Big league pop up, shallow right, ball near the adjustment, and finally gravity does its thing. Refsnyder flies out.
There's 3 sets of flags I'm looking at. They're all blowing in different directions, so probably not a fun pop up, but Toyota keys to the game, no excuses, and turn the page. Tough road trip, the second part of that. Be back home, as I mentioned, only giving up 4 home runs, and no excuses. Yes, the weather is not great, but it's not great for both teams. You got to find a way to get it done, and hopefully a quick first inning will get you back in the dugout, get the hands warmed up, and get the bats going.
Cal Raleigh, an aggressive first pitch swing, and that's common for many guys up and down this lineup. You see the numbers so far this season, but how about that note, Morty, bottom left? Hard to not mention Cal Raleigh's name and not reflect on what was, in many ways, a historic season for any catcher in Major League Baseball history.
Just absolutely incredible what he was able to do and how locked in he was. I think sometimes when you have a year like that, the next year you kind of expect it to start that way, or you try and replicate the routine you had the year before. And each year starts over, and he's starting to find his swing. Hopefully, Twins can keep his bat down for this series.
Aaron Judge won the MVP despite the record-setting numbers that Raleigh put up last year. Set single-season records among catchers, switch hitters, and the most by any one Mariner player in team history, as the slider misses inside. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Raleigh.
Surprising to see how much he struggled on fastballs this year, hitting under 200 on fastballs. And he struggled also when he fell behind in the count. So you've got a report. You're going to be pitched to a guy very carefully who's hit 60 homers in the past.
Struck him out with his slider, and that was the swing and miss pitch for Prelup against the Mets. And strikeout number 1 comes with that breaking ball, 2 down.
Well, made his first start on the road. You wonder how excited family and friends are from about 2.5 hours from Target Field where he grew up. We saw a good turnout for his first start. Feels good to get that one at home at Target Field.
Rodriguez on a slider is down a strike. Now Rodriguez, good matchup here. Prelup leaning on that slider, but Rodriguez is crushing breaking balls, sliders, sweepers, curveballs so far this year, and now 1-1.
Yeah, it's how much do you look at the report? How much do you move away from your strengths to stay away from a hitter's strengths? There's all that balance you need to find when you're preparing for a ball game.
That's out of play. Rodriguez a year ago led all center fielders and Fangraphs wins above replacement. Baseball Reference as well. An incredible season for Rodriguez. Also big postseason numbers. 4 home runs in the postseason last year for Seattle. Now 2-2. Seattle lost in Game 7 to the Blue Jays in the ALCS. Out to left on a line, and Larnach over and makes the play. So Rodriguez lines out, and Connor Prelup 3 up 3 down as Rodriguez shakes out the hand after that swing here on a cold night here at Target Field. It is a Monday night at home, and we keep it going. Why not? Let's take a look at the Twins Monday night Menard starting lineup.
Derek Shelton, Southern Illinois University. Byron Buxton, Appleton County High School.
Brooks Lee, Cal Poly. Trevor Larnach, Oregon State University. Josh Bell, Dallas Jesuit.
Ryan Jeffers, University of North Carolina, Wilmington.
Cody Clemens, University of Texas.
Luke Keyshaw, Arizona State University.
Matt Wallner, Southern Miss. Tristan Gray, Rice University.
Connor Prelup, University of Alabama.
Roll Tide for Connor Prelup there at the end, so we see the Twins inside the dugout. And it's been a while since the Twins, Morty, have held a lead in any game after being swept by the Rays and dropping the final 2 to the Mets. We'll see if Buxton, Lee, and Larnach can change that against Luis Castillo here tonight.
It's going to be the veteran right-hander making his 249th career start. Has struggled to pitch into the 6th inning in his last 4 starts, which is very rare for him. But you're going to see fastballs from a lower arm slot. It's going to average right around 95 miles an hour. He's got a changeup. He's got a slider that he's upped his usage on so far this year. And 2 different fastballs are going to be a 4-seam and a sinker, but they both have some movement to them. They're going to have some run in on those right-handed hitters. But he has given up damage. He's given up hard contact on all his pitches he's thrown this year. Every pitch he's allowed over 90-mile-an-hour exit velocity on him. See if the Twins are able to take advantage of him in the strike zone, jump on some fastballs early. And we take a look at the Mariners defense. Rosarena in left, Julio in center, Ref Snyder with the lefty on the mound, and right, Rivas, Crawford, Young, who has been tremendous defensively, one of the best defensive players in all of baseball, and then Naylor and old friend Mitch Garver behind the plate.
Byron Buxton on the ground to third, and Rivas makes the throw, and Naylor stretching into foul territory, so Byron grounds out. First pitch of the game, and Brooks Lee coming up, so Rivas tested right away at the hot corner.
Yeah, a little wet infield. Took a little extra time to get that grip, and then so often that throw will sail towards home plate when the hitter, or when the player throws it on the run like that.
Now Brooks Lee, over his last 16 games, is batting just shy of 300. With 5 home runs, hit leadoff yesterday. For the 2nd time in his career. Now 2 balls and no strikes.
Just trying to play the hot hand, and Shelty's hasn't been afraid to move that lineup around. If he sees a guy swinging the bat well, try and get him as many opportunities as you can. That's where we see Brooks last couple days.
His 5 home runs, that ties him with Byron Buxton for the team lead. And you see the first 10, the last 16. In that last 16 was the game-winning hit against the Tigers a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, just kind of got him rolling.
Slice to left, and Randy Rosarena had. Lee played perfectly. Back a few steps, and Lee lines out. So 2 down here in the Twins' first inning.
It's always amazing to me, as a hitter, you hit a ball in the screws, and the series before they were playing in a different spot, it would have been a hit. But Rosarena playing pretty deep for Brooks with how many balls he hits that left side. But you're right, had him played absolutely perfectly. But there's so many times you look up and you go, oh, that was a hit in Tampa, or that was a hit in New York. But not a hit tonight against a team playing a little different defensive alignment against you.
Trevor Larnach, good numbers against the Mariners. We'll try and add to those here this week. Larnach 4 hits in the road trip. 1 of the 4 went for extra bases. Still more walks than strikeouts for Larnach so far this season in terms of percentage. A 22% walk rate, striking out 19% of the time. Just 1 home run for the Twins left fielders so far this year.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a good series here, being able to face consecutive right-handed starters 3 days in a row, just kind of going out there and getting some rhythm in your swing and getting comfortable in that batter's box.
Righties this season against Castillo, again a small sample, we're talking about 5 starts, but righties are hitting on average almost 390. But over the career, lefties have fared better than righties against Castillo, but also this gives the Twins, these lefties, a good chance here, a good runway here with Castillo tonight. Finally some righties, Kirby, Gilbert all lined up to face the Twins here this week.
Unfortunately for the Twins, it's not just I don't think there's really any average pitchers left in the big leagues at this point anyway, but you're going to face 3 pretty good starters, and it's going to be a challenge, but at least you know what you're going to get. You know your first 2 at-bats. Hopefully 3 of the day are going to be against a right-handed starter, so you can prepare for that.
Pulled foul. Look out, Grady Sizemore down the right side. Castillo tonight making his 10th career start against the Twins. He's now 33 years old, a 3-time All-Star. And low, ball 3. This is what Larnach has done well all year, just seeing so many pitches, hence why that walk rate is high. Good take there. on a slider. The payoff to Larnach is fouled back.
This is just the kind of guy when you're built to win now. Castillo's the kind of guy you want, kind of that back half of your rotation. Known as an innings eater, traditionally pitches deep into ball games, isn't going to get himself into trouble a lot. You have some electric arms in this rotation, then you've got kind of a stabilizing force that you know what you're going to get most nights.
Larnach lofts it to shallow right. Young out, Refsnyder in. It'll be Young making the call and the play. So Larnach flies out and scoreless after one.
Woo!
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by your local Toyota dealers and by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Light rain still falling, but we play on here at Target Field. No score. After one, Connor Prelip, a 1-2-3 first inning, striking out Cal Raleigh. And now we'll face Josh Naylor, Randy Arozarena, and J.P. Crawford.
You heard Josh say, "I wasn't looking, boss." So he has to be engaged with that pitcher. I got to see this a few times at the World Baseball Classic against Team Cuba.
Well, Naylor is heating up, and his WBC hitting coach is a big reason why.
No. As soon as he got away from me, he's been getting better since then. So.
Naylor hammers one. Left center field in the alley. Buxton on the move. He'll track it down. So Naylor swinging at the first pitch at a very high rate. Flies out to left center and one away. It's our Postman Law injury update. So Naylor back in the lineup here tonight after not playing yesterday with minor quad tightness. Good swing on that ball, but Buxton ran it down for out number one. And now Randy Arozarena. High ground ball rate so far this season for the two-time All-Star. And also he welcomes pitches inside because he often gets hit.
You know he wasn't missing this series. He's traditionally hit very well against the Twins in his career.
A .330 lifetime average against the Twins with an OPS over 1,000 and 6 home runs. 1 ball, 1 strike from Prelip.
So this is a deep lineup with some veteran hitters. You've got some younger guys sprinkled in there, but a team that expects to win. We mentioned offense is starting to come to life.
Off speed to right, slicing near the line. Wallner giving chase. It'll land foul, just foul. Down the right side as Wallner checks his tracks.
Well, take a look at the jump off the bat. Wallner had to deal with the wind on the first ball of the game. This one with the wind kind of pushing this ball away from the line, and thankfully it landed just foul. This is not an easy right field to play. I think we make that point quite often. But the more time he gets out there, the more comfortable he gets with the dimensions and how little foul ground there is in the corners.
The 1-2 from Prelip, and it's inside. Mentioned that Arozarena often will see pitches inside, and he's been hit at a high rate. In fact, he's led the sport and hit by pitches in back-to-back seasons. Still 2-2. Struck him out with a changeup.
Pretty good.
Second
right
strikeout for Prelip. Morty 2 down.
Yeah, obviously you're going to do your homework and you're going to watch his last start, and you're going to see that he threw his slider over half the time. So you're thinking, I get to 2 strikes. He loves that slider. That's his swing and miss pitch, and then you get something moving in the opposite direction. A very effective pitch.
J.P. Crawford bunts it foul.
The first thing I noticed, obviously watching on TV, you see how he hides that ball in his glove. He's trying not to give anything away. With how good teams are picking apart opposing pitchers looking for tips. I think
82 pitches last time out. Most he's thrown in any start this season, either big leagues or in the minor leagues.
Yeah, I think most of the time, especially early in his season, be surprised if he goes much over 75 or 80 pitches.
Now, Prelip did not see many lefties against the Mets in his debut. And lefties were combined 0 for 2. So Naylor, and now sees Crawford. 95 missing high.
I think you mentioned those 82 pitches. I think maybe the most impressive thing for a rookie in his debut, no walks. Just force him to put the ball in play, continue to attack that strike zone.
And he was in this count quite a bit against the Mets, but did not give in. 3-2 count and was able to still come back and strike out hitters. Mitch Garver on deck, 3-2 though on Crawford. Weekly to short, and Brooks Lee gobbles it up and throws out Crawford, and the inning is over. Good start for Connor Prelip. 6 up, 6 down with 2 strikeouts. Now they say that April showers bring May flowers, and also hopefully some better numbers here offensively. The Mariners going one way, the Twins the last 3 going the opposite way, scoring fewer than 2 runs per game. As Josh Bell leads off against Luis Castillo, and down a strike.
But as we were talking about before we came on the air, it's one thing if you're not scoring runs and the run scoring opportunities have dried up. It's another thing if you're still getting guys on base and you're just unable to get them in.
Over the head of Cole Young, and Josh Bell, 102 off the bat, has the game's first hit, a leadoff single here in the second.
He got himself a changeup out over the plate. Able to extend those long arms, tall as Josh is. Not a terrible pitch. You see that ball fading away from him, but almost sounded like he might have broke his bat as well, but hit it in a perfect spot. That's how a rally gets started.
Now Ryan Jeffers drove in 4 runs on the road trip, all with 1 swing, a game-tying grand slam on Thursday in New York. Average exit velocity, that leads the team. Good start offensively for the veteran catcher and a potential free agent at season's end. Popped up right side, foul. Naylor over. Measuring at the railing, stretching, and hung onto it. Right at the camera well. And Naylor never gave up on that play.
This ball from a right-handed hitter is going to have spin on it. It's going to come back towards the field. And he does a great job. You see him with that bare hand. He finds the rail, sees where he's at, and then is able to reach and get it. This is a really, really difficult play.
It's our unreal defensive play of the game from Josh Naylor early tonight. So 1 out. Now Cody Clemens to left. Rosarena over towards the line. He'll track it down. And Bell back to first, and quickly 2 down. Now some early swings against Castillo, and Morney, some of the numbers this season against the veteran back that up. When hitters have put the first pitch in play against Castillo, hitting .400 against him with an OPS of 1,000.
I think for a pitching staff that has a reputation for throwing strikes, you know they're going to be around the zone. They don't walk many. They're the best in baseball at not allowing walks. So you go up there, look for a pitch you like early and be aggressive. And I think so much more was made of it in the past of try and run that pitch count up. Let's see if we can get in that bullpen. And I still think there is value in that. But very rarely are you getting to see that starter a 3rd time with the way these bullpens are built. So if you're only getting 2 at-bats and you might get one good pitch to hit, might be the first one, your first plate appearance, you better be ready to go because there's no guarantee that you're going to get 3 looks at that starter or 4 looks like it used to be. So yeah, be aggressive early. Go ahead, take your shot if you get something you like.
1-1 to Luke Keyshaw. Flip to right field, and that's going to be a fair ball. Josh Bell on his way to third base, and he has the green light from Borrego. He's heading home. The relay from Young, and Garver with the tag, and Bell is out.
Did he get him? Garver's still standing there. He's not running off the field, so it'll be interesting to see if this is an early challenge from the Twins.
I don't mind that send from Borrego with the damp conditions down the right field line, and the Twins are going to challenge the call at the plate.
See if it got hung up there. It's high. Just that little bobble, and give Bell credit. He never stopped running.
The Minnesota Twins are challenging the play at the plate, that there was blocking and no tag. On the field, it was called out.
Well, I think that Garver didn't run off right away. Kind of tells us that maybe he didn't feel it. A lot of times as a fielder, you can feel whether you make contact or not, even if you just graze a jersey or a shoulder on the way by. Unfortunately, the original call was out, so there's going to have to be enough to get it overturned. Man, how was he able to reach back with that left hand and still make contact with the plate?
Garver clearly in legal fielding position, and yeah, Bell's left hand, you can see clearly swipes across the plate. And it's also worth reminding the viewers here about what constitutes a tag with the glove. The laces do not count. It has to be with the meat of the glove. Now, did the glove make contact with Bell's hair? Again, it can't be laces, but was there any portion of the meat of the mitt of Garver's glove? Did that make contact with Bell's hair going by?
And was his hand on the plate as that happened? Really close, but like I said, the original call was out. So there has to be clear evidence to overturn that call. But a big early challenge, but a good sign from Keyshaw. Line drive the other way.
So clearly you can see Bell's fingers are on the plate there, and it doesn't look like there's any portion of Garver's glove making contact with the sliding Bell at that point.
My concern is how long this is taking.
Right, the data about coming back stands.
Yep. But you have to absolutely have to challenge this play at home plate for a run, especially because in my opinion, it looks like he's safe, but should have an answer here from Doug Eddings.
So Keyshaw's at second base. For now, Bell is out as we await this call from Midtown Manhattan. And here is Doug Eddings.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner's safe. Minnesota retains its challenge.
Byron Bell on the move. And the Neo-esque slide. Now John Cena at the end as well. Scores from first base, and Keyshaw puts the Twins on top with an RBI double.
Well, hard hit the other way. Bell, understanding he's for sure getting the third on this ball. And he's looking up. He never breaks stride, and this is why Borrego's able to send him. A lot of times you'll see guys kind of just cruising into third base, assuming that ball's going to be caught, but Bell didn't do that. And the Twins are able to play in front for the first time in a short while.
The Twins have a lead for the first time in days. And the fifth double for Keyshaw. There is 13th RBI. Now Matt Wallner. He's been fighting it here for a while, looking to change that. Wallner, over his last 10 games, Morty just 3 for his last 30. High strikeouts and without an extra base hit these last 10 games.
Yeah, I think maybe the most concerning thing is he's missing pitches in the zone. It's one thing to chase and swing and miss out of the zone, but he's missing some balls in the zone as well. That's kind of the spot that they've found, and until he closes up that hole in the big leagues, pitchers are a lot of times able to execute a plan. It's a very hard thing because your swing is what it is, and to try and change things as you're going along or react to what you're seeing can be very difficult to do as a hitter.
The 1-2 to Wallner, and that misses high. Now Bell was at first base, so it was not a run scoring while he was in scoring position. The Twins over the last 9 hitting just 171 in situations like this. We'll do it again. That was after the Twins got off to just a blistering start, batting .314 with runners in scoring position over the first 19 games, but down to 171 over their last 9 despite ample opportunities.
It's You didn't figure it was going to stay over 300 for the entire year, but these things have a way of balancing out. Hit him.
And Wallner got hit, sure did. So Wallner will take his base, and now Tristan Gray is coming up with 1 in, 2 on, and 2 out. And Dan Wilson says to play on.
Well, he's had a lot more painful hit by pitches than this. With 2-strike slider off of the old pant leg, he'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, compare Wallner getting hit by Garrett Crochet on his ribs in 95 and then that.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
So 2 down for Tristan Gray, batting 9th here tonight, as Castillo misses outside for ball 1.
We mentioned all the struggles on the road trip with the runners in scoring position. Hit right here with 2 outs early in a ball game to extend this lead would be huge and really lift the boys in the dugout, get everybody fired up.
Well, foul down the right side, and Castillo this year, part of what explains an ERA over 5 is that he's allowing opponents to bat .412 against him with 2 outs so far this year. Gray 3 homers, 13 knocked in. 2-1. The 13 RBI for Gray, already a career high.
Big hits with a lot of traffic, especially early in the year when he was getting some opportunities. Just take a base hit up the middle right here.
Now 2-2, 95 from Castillo. Well, against lefties so far this year, Castillo, 18 pitches thrown this inning already. He is throwing his slider more to lefties than he had in the past. Still 2-2. Twins leading by 1 early on a Keyshaw RBI double. Scoring Josh Bell from first base. Keyshaw at second, Wallner at first. And there's the slider, and Gray did not offer.
Yeah, it's that very similar to the one he hit Wallner in the back leg with. See if it's early in the game, if he keeps going to it, or if they find an alternative. If he doesn't get a feel for that pitch, a little cooler weather tonight. Sure, you don't want to load the bases for Buxton here.
3-2 pitch. Slider pulled foul.
They go back to that slider. That's something that here Glenn Perkins say often. Sometimes the best time to throw that breaking pitch is right after you threw the last one. You know the adjustment you need to make right away. And he did go right back to it.
Gray's been good in situations like this. 8th pitch coming up this at bat between Castillo and Tristan Gray. Again, the 3-2 pitch, ball 4, and the bases are loaded, and Byron Buxton is coming up. Now, something we led the telecast with Morning a moment ago about Byron Buxton and where he is being pitched to here lately. And you go back to the last road trip, a lot of fastballs up and in.
Yeah, this has kind of been the book on Buxton for a while. You run those sinkers from righties up under his hands. You try and get him to get himself out off the plate, and then you try and open up the outside part of the plate for that slider down and away. But I think when he's going good, he's laying off that pitch that's an inch or two off the inside corner. He's forcing you to throw that ball over the plate, and then if you do make a mistake, he punishes you. So it'll be interesting to see with the bases loaded, nowhere to put him. Buxton looking for his first hit with a runner in scoring position all year.
Twins have been in the spot so often this season. Byron 0 for 5, runners in scoring position. I should say bases loaded this season. And no surprise, takes a fastball inside for ball 1. Yeah, Byron 0 for 5, bases loaded this year. And Castillo behind. 1-1.
I think sometimes as a hitter, you're so used to seeing every fastball's on the black inside or just off the black. And then all of a sudden he throws you one that hittable middle part of the plate and can almost surprise you a little bit.
Same spot, 1-2.
Well, so he started him off with that first pitch slider. His first at bat, he swung at the first pitch of the bottom half of the first. Kind of rolled over on it. You wonder if he maybe had that in the back of his mind, or he was just getting beat by a couple of good fastballs up in the zone. Got to get battle mode here. It's a big at bat.
40th pitch of the game coming up for Castillo. 3 on, 2 out. The 1-2. Twins have done a good job early on, not expanding too much on Castillo's slider.
It was a good take after being sped up a couple of times with that fastball up. See if they go back up under his hands here, or try and get him to chase down and away.
2-2 pitch flipped in the air, shallow left field. Mariners giving chase. It'll be Crawford running it down and shallow left to end the inning. So a lengthy inning for Castillo. The Twins score 1. Josh Bell on a Keyshaw double scores from first base, and the Twins have an early lead.
Means more. Connor Prelip back to work in the top of the third, where, guys, it wasn't too long ago where it was Joe Ryan and Bailey Ober who were the rookies in the starting rotation, so they can certainly appreciate what Prelip did last week in New York. Ober says, it was just great to see that he each one of those at-bats like he has been here plenty of times already. That's a great sign for somebody. You can tell he's not going to back down or be timid on the mound. And Joe Ryan said you can just see already that he's a guy with a level approach, doesn't overthink things, and the moment isn't too big for him. Some nice words of encouragement and support from his fellow starters, guys.
Audra, thank you. And Prelip off to a good start here tonight ahead of Mitch Garver, the former Twin. And the 0-2 is outside. Garver, popular guy around here, member of the 2019 Bulba squad. Now 35 years old. 9th round pick by the Twins back in 2013.
Won a Silver Slugger that 2019 season as well. Back in Seattle for another tour.
I began to look at lineups in spring training differently, and it started with Garver. The end of spring training 2019, when all of a sudden this guy was batting leadoff against lefties. You're like, what to make of it? Maybe just it's spring training, who cares? And then we learned that this was going to be a thing. With Garver hitting first as often as he did against lefties. And Prelip, there's his first big league walk. So he got ahead of Garver, loses him. And the leadoff man is on for the Mariners. And Cole Young is coming up. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. Let's take a look at the sliders so far tonight morning from Connor Prelip.
Yeah, he's got good depth with that pitch, and he's able to have a good feel for it as well. We saw him throw it 3-2 to end the last inning. So it's a pitch he's got feel for. He can throw it in the zone. He can show the hitter that it can be a strike. And then he has the ability to finish at bats with that pitch as well. So he's got a great feel for it. We heard about that a ton when he was in the minor leagues. For him, it has just been more a matter of being on the mound, staying healthy, because the stuff is definitely there. And you see it going against these veteran lineups.
Cole Young, good numbers, lefty on left, former first-round pick by the Mariners in 2022. He made his big league debut against the Twins last season. And produced a walk-off plate appearance in his debut. Check swing and no swing. This is Mike Malinsky at third base. Take a look at the swing. Umpire said no. One and two on Young. To left, and Lardick angling over. He'll make the play. And back to first is Garver.
Tough night to be a hitter, boys. Got to lower that launch just a little bit. Ball not really going anywhere. Rain coming down a little bit harder now. Seen some balls hit out there to the big part of the field. Naylor's ball out there to left center. Buck was able to run it down. It just seems like it's kind of hanging up.
So one away for Leo Rivas. That's a foul ball and a bunt try by the Mariners third baseman Rivas.
So it's always funny. Sometimes you bunt and you see a pitch on the way and you know it's going to be out of the zone and it just kind of chases you and there's nothing you can do. And that ball was in the zone a long time, and then he wanted to get out of the way, but it just found his bat. Interesting to see him go right back to it with one out. Gray kind of backed up on him at third.
Just high. And Rivas is a guy that just does not chase. Has a very, very low chase rate at the plate. And even though he doesn't make consistent hard contact, he won't give in too often on his side by expanding. Popped up. Shallow center. Luke Keyshaw drifting out. And there are two down. So weak contact induced there by Prelip. And Garber still at first, as now Prelip will see this Mariners lineup for a second time. Here comes Rob Refsnyder. A Twin for 51 games. Refsnyder was back in 2021. And Refsnyder has had a long career. Over 7 years now, pushing on close to 8 years of service time with several organizations. And a reason why he's still in the big leagues is he continues to hit left-handed pitching.
And with how many premium left-handed starting pitchers there are in this league, he brings a ton of value to wherever he's at to a lineup, especially from the right side. Hasn't got off to a great start against lefties, but you go with a track record for a guy who's been around and done what he's done against lefties for as long as he has.
And a pinch hit game-winning home run in St. Louis in the 9th inning yesterday. And that came after an ABS challenge. So the challenge went his way and then produced the game-winning swing to complete the sweep in St. Louis.
You never know when that one swing is going to turn your season around or turn your approach around or your confidence or whatever you need to get going.
Out to center, and Buxton, with the rain falling, finds it and makes the play, and the leadoff walk leads to nothing. Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Delta. From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins. Looks yummy right there. Pizza, beer, and some baseball tonight. Twins up 1-0. With Brooks Lee leading off the third inning. Lee, Larnach, and Bell against Luis Castillo through 27 pitches last inning.
It's a good take. I think that also early when we saw him struggle a little bit in that first short stretch, those first 10 games, it seemed like he was maybe expanding a little bit more too, kind of swinging at pitchers' pitches from time to time.
And Lee now is at first, he's at second, he's at 7th, 8th, and 9th so far this season. 2-2.
Just a little wrinkle with everything moving away from the left-handed hitters. Just something. The slider doesn't have a ton of break to it, but it's enough moving in the opposite direction. The hitter gives up on it.
Yeah, Brooks Lee had a really good road trip despite the fact the Twins won only one game, 8 hits that led the team. But good defense as well at short, both in New York and in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, the bat comes alive and he'll take a little weight off the shoulders, just lets you go out there and play free. And not saying that he was taking his at-bats into the field, but that confidence kind of carries over to both sides of the ball. Good to see him get going.
3-2 pitch, one hop left side. That is speared by Rivas, and his throw is in time to get Lee by a step on a scoop on the back end by Naylor. And good play all around by the Mariners as the Twins will hold up play for the time being. Mark Hallberg on the phone chatting with Joe Casey in the replay room, and the Twins will play on. But again, positioned perfectly. Rivas just had to get the glove down, still made a one-hop throw and speared by Naylor at the back end.
And I think the thing you see on that play, if we have time, if we get a foul ball here, take another look at Rivas at third.
Larnach to center. Rodriguez back, still going, and can't make the play. It's off the wall. Larnach grounding second, on his way to third base, and he will make it standing. So Larnach triples to center off the wall. Rodriguez went back and could not find it. And Larnach is 90 feet away from adding on to this lead on a quick trip triple.
Well, the rain falling, tough conditions. I mentioned it last half inning. Ball not really carrying, and Julio not in his home ballpark. Probably didn't need to jump for that ball. Felt like he was going to make contact with that wall. Got a piece of it. Larnach never really stopped running. He's at third all the way. Now see if the Twins can find a way to get him in here.
5th career triple for Larnach as Josh Bell. Yeah, Bell needs some time. Looks like he needs something to put on his bat to help him with grip here.
Yeah, a little slippery. Garver not agreeing with this time being allowed and pleading his case to Gabe Morales behind the plate. I think there are times, there's exceptions where we let the umpire use their discretion, use their feel for the game of saying, hey, it's been raining. We don't want the bat to slip out of his hands. We're going to let him go put the sticky stuff on the bat.
Infield in for the Mariners. Larnach at third base, 1 out as Bell takes high.
Yeah, midsummer, ball hit 101 miles an hour, 31 degrees of launch. Is probably about halfway up that batter's eye. But early in the year, fortunately, he's still got a triple, and you get a chance to score here.
Foul back. 1-2. Bell 385 with runners in scoring position. Take a look at the juniper plants.
Everybody's favorite.
Yep.
Better than full-size trees.
Good eye there, 2-2. As the ball was flying out of target field earlier this season, the concrete was dry and the trees were gone. Those were the theories at the ballpark early on. Way inside. Now 3-2 on Bell. That sinker never had a chance.
So this is a veteran pitcher, recognizes the situation. You got a righty on deck. You're pitching for the strikeout here. You're trying not to let the ball get put in play. Just to see if he tries to throw that slider down and in off of that pitch. Or elevate that fastball above the zone again.
Inside, ball 4. So Bell draws the walk. And the Twins have runners at the corners, 1 out, and Ryan Jeffers coming up.
Just so much of the theory in today's game is missing bats, not letting the ball be put in play. If the ball's not put in play, it doesn't have a chance to get a hit. You get the infield in, you're just hoping that ball's hit right at somebody, because if it's 4 or 5 feet either way, that's a hit and a run scored. So a guy who's been around the game a long time, recognize the situation, then see that he's got a righty, he's got a catcher on deck, a double play candidate if he's able to get the ball on the ground. And if you're Jeffers, you're trying to find a way to counter that. You're looking for something you can elevate to the big part of the field in the air and get that run in.
Slider misses outside, ball 1. Jeffers popped out to Naylor, the first baseman, his first time up. As Castillo is closing in on 60 pitches thrown here in just the 3rd inning. Hit the corner.
But that is a double play ball all day, unless you're really looking for something out there. So Jeffers understanding he gets 3. That's not the one he wanted.
Another sinker, 1-2. Mentioned that Castillo upping his slider usage to lefties this season, but still the pitch that has generated the most swing and miss to righties has been a slider. The Twins haven't expanded too much on that pitch so far tonight. Their fastball from Jeffers, still 1-2.
So interesting with Jeffers' approach with 2 strikes. We've seen him choking up, and his willingness to just shoot the ball the other way. Doesn't necessarily, after that fastball up and in, doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be a slider down and away. If it is, I'm guessing they probably want it off the plate for Chase.
Look at the hands from Jeffers, and he floats it out to right, and that'll play just fine. Larnach scores. Bell will stop at second base. So Larnach is in. Jeffers put it in play, his 17th RBI, and the Twins have a 2-0 lead.
They tried to go back to that spot up under his hands. Jeffers does a great job of choking up, shortening up his swing, and making sure he pushed this ball forward. And with a good approach, sometimes you just get rewarded. You see that thing down towards that color change in his bat. He just fought it off. Somewhat surprised Bell didn't go first to third there on a soft hit ball like that, but he's still in scoring position. Great approach from Jeffers, great at bat.
Now Cody Clemens flied out to left in the second. Still just one out. You know, to your point, Bell not going first to third, and Anthony Recker was talking about this over the weekend and maybe had ideas, then a little stumble there as he was reaching second base. But with the Twins offense fighting it right now, maybe thinking more about taking and trying that extra 90 feet. Is trying to just not wait and play station to station because the offense isn't firing the way it was a couple of weeks ago.
It's so hard because it's such a fine line of feel like you're trying to do too much. You know, a lot of times when you're struggling, you'll see guys try and extend, try and hit a 3-run homer with nobody on, and try and just do more than you're capable of. It's a fine line really to do that.
Clemens a swing and a drive into right field and deep. Back it goes and gone. It is a 3-run homer from Cody Clemens. His third this season. The Twins putting up a big number here in the third. Have a 5-0 lead.
Well, Cody happy to get some at-bats off some righties. Finally seeing some starters, and that is his second home run in his career off of Castillo. He was 1 for 2 coming in and got himself a ball that ran back over the big part of the plate. Just good short swing direct to that ball. And we saw it last year. He's got some pop in that bat. Just good at bat after good at bat. Twins really putting it together up and down the lineup.
A 4-run inning and still just 1 out as the sinker misses inside for ball 1. It's the 3rd home run Castillo has allowed all year. Mentioned at the top, the Twins at home this season averaging over 5 runs per game. At that mark, and a lot of baseball left tonight.
You go back to the Jeffers at bat, just fighting off that pitch, not hitting it on the ground, hitting it in a good spot, just kind of keeping that line moving once he got to 2 strikes, and then Clemens jumping on a pitch. It's the deep counts, the good at-bats, fouling off pitches, making them throw it over.
To third, and Rivas throws low, and Naylor, he's being tested tonight. Let's save here on the low throw from Rivas, and there are 2 down.
He's over there going, be afraid to hit me in the chest, boys. Not the easiest night to throw, though. Wet conditions. And never expect a good throw, as Tom Kelly preached to me on that backfield down in Fort Myers. I can get anybody to catch the ball right in the middle of your chest. I can pick somebody out of the stands, but it's a good first baseman who can take those bad throws and turn them into outs. And we've seen Naylor do that a couple of times.
That Walner hit by a pitch last inning. I was asking Cody Clemens in spring training, he was going to break in 3 new gloves this season. Among them a first baseman's mitt, and inside the mitt, the webbing was a bullseye, like a target bullseye. I said, oh, that's cool, target. He said, no, this is for Brooks Lee. Throw the ball here.
Well, I wonder if he said anything to him after the last inning where Brooks kind of gave him that one down around his feet. They're good friends. They like giving each other a hard time.
There they are right there. One and 2 on Walder as Castillo misses high. Pitch count now over 70 for the veteran here on this cool, damp night at Target Field. Mariners winners of 4 straight. Twins have dropped 9 out of 10, but lead by 5 early.
Just, you love the at-bats. It's kind of like it was early in the year when it was up and down the lineup, not chasing, just keeping them in the zone, putting pressure on them to throw strikes, and then making good things happen when they do. Twins did have also last inning the bases loaded. So this score at 5-0 looks really good, but could be even more with the at-bats they put together.
And Wallner did go. So Castillo picks up his first strikeout tonight, but the Twins put up 4. A Ryan Jeffers RBI single, then a Cody Clemens 3-run homer to the dock and right, and the Twins have a 5-0 lead after 3.
To help you take it.
Cody Clemens, a 3-run homer to right, his 3rd homer this season. The Twins with a 5-0 lead. Let's take a look at our Fubo stat of the game. And Connor Prelup, how about this note, became the first starting pitcher in Twins history to record 8 strikeouts before his first career walk. And that walk just happened to Mitch Garver last inning. 2 strikeouts tonight, and then the walk. A native of Tomah, Wisconsin, about a 2.5-hour drive southeast of the cities.
Wonder if he's playing for free tonight. Leave all those tickets for friends and family.
Right.
You'd be willing to do that every day of the week. I remember these Mariners on the other side, but I remember Seattle was the closest ballpark to me, and especially early in my career, there was 50, 60 people come down, and I didn't know I had that many friends, but when it was ticket time, I sure had a lot of friends. But and early in my career, we could put in as many as we wanted, and you didn't get dinged on them. Now you got to pay the tax on the ticket,
yeah.
so it is something you do pay for as a player, but you're willing to pay that bill for all the people, whether it was your little league coach or, you know, I remember my first grade teacher would come down, make that drive down to Seattle. So it's special to be able to share that with so many people that helped you along the way.
Would you like walk by and be like, "Hey, Joe, are you using your tickets here tonight, or perk?" Just
early in the
locker.
career, you're going, "Hey, are you using yours?" And most of the time in Seattle, it was so far away for so many guys that most of those tickets were available. You had to make good friends with the director of team travel as well to help you out a little bit.
It's a cool note there about the Mariners. They have been very good against rookie pitchers so far. Prelup's been up to the task as Raleigh lines out to left. And there again, and we've seen this a bit here, and remember seeing this with Carlos Correa last year, where your teammate, your starter, might have a long inning, but then you would think, okay, you might take a pitch, but that may be the one that you want to swing at. And Raleigh hit it hard but lined out to left after Castillo had a lengthy 3rd inning.
It's such a hard balance to find, and when you're a guy who has power like Cal and has been heating up from the power in the power department, do you want to let that one fastball pass? And I think sometimes when you get off to a slow start, you're really eager to turn those numbers around, and it's your at bat. Want to give pitches away sometimes, but now it allows Prelup to come out here and potentially have a really quick inning. He's doing a really good job, especially following it up by getting ahead of Julio and getting 0-2. Now you got a potential 4 pitches into this thing with 2 outs. So it was something that used to be talked about a lot more. You know, protecting your starter, forcing their starter to go deep, trying to run up that pitch count if you have the opportunity.
Struck him out with a curveball, and that's a new weapon for Connor Prelup here this season. Threw 5 of those in his debut against the Mets, so adding to this arsenal here in start number 2.
And sometimes it's frustrating as a hitter hitting behind a guy who swings early. Cal's been doing it the 6th most in baseball. Baylor's been doing it the 2nd most in baseball, so not running a lot of deep counts around Julio. And if you're a guy who's playing that game of I'm trying not to let him have a 3-pitch inning here or a 4-pitch inning, and you kind of take it and you're falling behind in your at bat, sometimes it can cause friction between teammates. You get frustrated. Well, will you please quit swinging at the first pitch of the inning and making outs? You're forcing me to go up there, and I'm 0-1 every time I take my at bat. So even though it's an individual game, it is played as a team, and one at bat kind of feeds off the other. And we've seen it so far from the Twins. We're running deep counts and deep at-bats and forcing Castillo to throw 73 pitches through 3 innings, and it's kind of led to some big innings and some good at-bats for the Twins.
Another curveball, 1-2 on Naylor.
I'm not really saying one or the other is right. It's just something that happens throughout the course of the season. Sometimes you feel eager, your swing feels good, or you're trying to work your way out of something and you don't really want to get to 2 strikes. You don't want to run deep counts. You're trying to put that ball in play. It fluctuates throughout the year, and you kind of learn to feed off each other.
It's a fair ball behind first, and Clemens will take it to the bag. And a good inning here for Connor Prelip, a shutdown 8-pitch, 1-2-3, 4th inning. Welcome back. Choose Twins games your way with My Twins Choice memberships. Pick games and seats that are right for you and unlock benefits including up to 25% off concessions and tickets. Learn more by visiting twins.com/mytwins. Got some Twins fans here, some Mariners fans. Why not? Here at Target Field for game 1 of this series and a 7-game homestand. Twins up by 5 as we start the 4th. And Castillo right back out there to see Gray, Buxton, and Lee.
He got to sit for about 4 minutes. 8-pitch inning. Cal making the first out on the first pitch. He can do whatever he wants. He hit 60 homers. He's accomplished a lot in this game and has an understanding of how things work. So,
line to right field, a base hit for Gray. That was 105 off the bat. A slider to his liking, and the leadoff man is on for the 2nd time tonight. So Byron Buxton will come up with the man aboard. He's 0 for 2. What have you noticed about the at-bat so far? Castillo against Byron, 2 in.
Yeah, kind of being pitched in a similar way that he was on that road trip. His 4-seam acts more like a 2-seam fastball. It's got a ton of side-to-side movement in on those right-handed hitters. It's going to run in on his hands. Let's see what Buck does here. Saw him swing early his first at-bat. He's going to challenge.
And Byron's going to challenge. A right hand to the helmet. Byron's only challenged a couple of times.
The batter's challenging the strike call.
I think he maybe thought it was potentially down.
ABS challenges are powered by T-Mobile. It was a strike.
Minnesota has 1 challenge remaining.
So Byron now is 1 and 2 in challenging balls and strikes. He's challenged 3 times, 2 losses. Twins have 1 remaining. Swinging a high fly ball into left field and deep. Back it goes. Arena turning, looking, and that is way out of here. Long home run from Byron Buxton. Deep out to left field, his 6th of the year, and the Twins add on and now lead 7-0.
Good to see that smile on his face. He absolutely demolished this baseball. Didn't win the challenge, but won the at-bat. It starts with Gray getting on base. That quick inning we mentioned, did one thing lead to another? No way to ever know the answer to that, but Byron Buxton jumped on a pitch in the zone.
His 6th home run of the year, RBIs 8 and 9. And the Twins have their 2nd homer off Castillo tonight and lead by 7.
Well, this one, the slider just kind of spun right there in the middle of the plate. Buck doesn't miss too many of those.
Popped up shallow left to Arena hustling in. And we'll make the adjustment with the wind and the rain. Catch is made for out number 1. So Gray singled, and then Buxton did this.
Yeah, you cannot miss there on Byron Buxton. He is so strong, so short, quick to the ball. Twins have been good at home. You mentioned it a couple of times. They've scored as you should be at home. You'd like to be at home in your own ballpark, comfortable, productive.
Castillo, 2 before tonight, had allowed only 2 homers all year. And the Twins have tagged him with 2 alone tonight. Clemens and now Byron. 0-2 on Larnach. Now, Twins came in with 33 home runs, 11th most in baseball. Inside, and Garver will challenge, and Garver's been very good. He's challenged 10 behind the plate. He's been successful 9 times. It looked to be a strike, and it was. So Garver remains very good.
Pitch was a strike. Seattle has 2 challenges remaining.
And flips that call into not just a strike, but a strikeout. So 2 down. And the Mariners retain 2 challenges. Sauce 10-1, challenging. Pitches behind the plate this year. Josh Bell, whoa, big league pop-up.
Good luck.
And Crawford near the mound. Makes the play, inning over, but the Twins had 2 more on this cool, damp night. You know what's pretty? A Buxton tape measure shot, buck truck sighting and all. And the Twins have a 7-0 lead after 4. 3-run homer Cody Clemens, 2-run homer Byron Buxton. And the Twins have a 7-0 lead as Connor Prelup starts the 5th. The ball 1 on Randy Arozarena. Struck out of the 2nd on a changeup. Crawford and Garver. 2 up for the Mariners here in the 5th. Now 2-0. In his debut against the Mets, Prelup, he went 4 innings and threw 82 pitches.
After the Twins scored in the 2nd, he walked the leadoff batter in the 3rd, then did a great job last inning of going right at this Mariner lineup.
And a 4-pitch walk to Arozarena, Morning.
Unfortunately, another leadoff walk, and that's a recipe for trouble. That leadoff walk comes around to score quite often, so obviously not something he wanted to do, but pitching into the 5th inning for the first time in his big league career, obviously his 2nd start. So, but he is traditionally not a guy in the minor leagues who has pitched deep into ball games. Let's see how he handles. Can he hear pitch count in great shape?
Strike on Crawford, grounded out to short in the 2nd. Crawford won a Gold Glove at short back in 2020. Slice to left near the line. Larnach over, and that lands foul.
Some puddles on the track. It's been, well, it rained here all day. They had the tarp on the field pulling off before game time, but there is no tarp on the warning track or in those areas. Kind of light footing going into the corner there. Twins have had a little luck on their side. Ball down the right field line, slice just foul. That one down the left field line. Let's see if he goes to that slider, try to get that strike out here.
Yeah, neither team did anything on the field before the game tonight with the rain all day long here in town. Connor Prelup in the rotation right now for the injured Mick Abel. Darius Shelton gave an update on Abel in his office before the game, saying that Abel is now playing catch. But still no timeline as to when Abel will be back on a mound, if he'll need a rehab. None of those details announced, but Shelton did say he's back playing catch. Still 2-2.
So much has been made, obviously, in recent year about wins for starting pitchers not mattering, but you know, Prelup, a guy, knows that he's always on a limited pitch count when he goes out there. I'm sure there's some thought in the back of his mind saying, hey, I want to get through 5, put myself in a spot to get my first big league win.
So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've lost our scoreboard bug here temporarily. Twins have a 7-0 lead in the 5th inning. There's Abel on the IL right now. So Rosarena's at first, and the 3-2 pitch is a check swing and no swing and no challenge from Jeffers. So it's back-to-back walks, and the Mariners have 2 on with nobody out, and Pete Mackey will head out for a mound visit.
Well, this pitch looked like it's the first time I'll see the strike zone box today, but that ball looked like it caught it. You wonder if, you know, Jeffers had in his mind, we just lost our challenge. We don't want to go the rest of this game without having one, so I'm not going to take a chance. I wonder if that impacted it.
Yeah, I've asked Ryan about that. If he does consider count, leverage, situation, he said 100%. It's not just looking at it that I think this pitch was a strike or a ball, but he takes into account leverage and where the game is at.
And I think a 7-0 game, maybe a 1-0 game, 2-0 game right there to keep that run off base. You get it out, all of the things that would have followed. But also that top of the zone is really tough because it is moving as the strike zone adjusts with each hitter. So where's the top on Crawford compared to where it's at on Garver? Are you willing to, you know, play the last half of this game without a challenge remaining?
Mitch Garver a walk in the 3rd. 2 on, nobody out. And we have our scoreboard bug back as strike 1 thrown by Prelip. Oh, 2.
And maybe if we have him on during the game tomorrow, it'll be interesting to ask him about this 5th inning. I think as a player, your job is just to execute every pitch, to go out there and just your only thought is on the task at hand. What am I going to do with this pitch right here? As we've heard Pablo tell us when we've had him on. Was there any thought in his mind about his first major league win as he ran out there for the 5th inning? And he's been dialed in with his control all day long, and then to see back-to-back walks on a pitch that could have been called strike 3, but as soon as you let the outside thoughts start to creep in, they get in the way.
1-2 pitch, ground ball left side, base hit into left field. That will score Rosarena, and Crawford read that well. He'll make 3rd base. It's an RBI single for Garver, and his first run batted in this season, and the Twins' lead is trimmed to 6.
Well, that leadoff walk, 4-pitch leadoff walk, coming around to score, setting the Mariners up with an opportunity to get back in this ball game. Brooks Lee playing to pull, and then good recognition by Crawford, understanding the ground's wet. That ball went grass, dirt, grass, so it was on the ground a long time. Perfect opportunity to go 1st to 3rd.
And way inside, and Cole Young. And the Twins bullpen is starting to move and move quickly. See Andrew Moore slamming down to Rosenbag. Cole Young. As the Mariners offense has been improving here lately, this guy's been a big part of it. Hitting over 360 over his last 10 games. Crawford at 3rd base, Garver at 1st. Schulte looks on. Pitch number 72 from Prelip. And now a 3-1 count.
If they can get somebody ready quick enough, I'm thinking this might be his last batter, with how all of a sudden the strike zone has started to elude him just a little bit.
Slicing foul. Tristan Gray, does he have a play? He does, near the tarp, and he hung onto it. Will fire towards the plate, and it's missed by Jeffers as it ricochets off the screen. So Crawford scores to 2nd, Garver. Gray made a great play, leaning over the tarp for out number 2, but then Crawford, he read that well. He scores the 2nd run of the night for Seattle.
Yeah, great instincts on the base pass. Never give up on the play, even though it's a short fly ball. If you see something like that happen, he just took advantage of it. And so there's something you can do there. It's when the third baseman vacates, either the pitcher has to become the cutoff man there and get in there between Gray and home plate, or if the first baseman has enough time to get all the way down there. But Gartner also did a great job of recognizing what was in front of him and tagging up on that ball as well to get himself into scoring position. What a play.
Garver now at second. Here is Rivas.
And if you're Cole Young, you're walking over there thanking Crawford, saying, hey, appreciate getting me a sac fly right there, RBI and an 0 for 0 on a ball that went about 180 feet.
I think this batter has a lot to do with Derek Shelton's decision. If he retires Rivas, does he stay in to see Refsnyder? If not, he probably comes out. I think if Rivas reaches, then I think that'll be it.
I think with Refsnyder's track record against lefties, I think this is probably his last batter.
Regardless.
Second 2 times through the order. Try and get him out of there. We'll see.
2-1.
Yeah, do you let him chase the win? I think that's kind of, if he gets him, do you let him have one more batter? But I think we mentioned in his last start, most pitches he's thrown this year, 82. So I don't think they want to be able to extend much past that. We're really trying to be careful with an arm like this and try to keep him healthy.
And also just the idea of pitching on the 5th day. It hasn't happened much for Prelup, either by rotation schedule in the minor leagues, the off day on Monday, or because of injury. Three and two.
Yeah, for those who don't know, in the minor leagues, they play 6 days against the same team. Every Monday is an off day. So we were talking with Shelty about that before the game. You're not really preparing these guys to play in the big leagues. I get it. Cuts down on travel, cuts down on expenses. It's something that happened during COVID. But I think in AAA, they kind of need to go back to this schedule to get these guys used to playing and making that start every 5th day.
He struck him out with a slider. So we'll see. 4th strikeout for Prelup. 2 down. Refsnyder coming up. And Shelty is going to stick with the kid here against Refsnyder.
Well, that was nasty. That was one side of the plate to the other, and that is his bread and butter. We've seen him comfortable throwing that in deep counts.
And now Refsnyder with a strike. So Shelty sticking with Prelup, who is 1 out away from qualifying for the win.
I think part of it too is the growth and learning. How do you do when you're deep in a start? How do you get those last outs when you might have your best stuff?
0-2.
And this is part of the learning process. You've got a young team. You've got a young guy on the mound making his 2nd start. Extend him just a little bit and see what he's got. See if he can dig down and find a way out of it. It's as much as a mental battle as it is a physical battle at this point.
Foul ball.
I like it. We've seen it throughout the year with the Twins. Starters are averaging the 3rd most pitches of any pitching staff across baseball. Just giving guys opportunities to figure out how to work through.
Once again, Prelup deals 0-2. He struck him out swinging on a curveball. Connor Prelup with 5 strikeouts through 5, gave up a couple of runs, but can now qualify for his first big league win.
Neat.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at our Jeep standings and our MLB ERA leaderboard and Jose Soriano. What a story he has been for the Angels. He's allowed only 1 earned run all year. He's leading the way. Parker Messick carried a no-hitter for Cleveland not too long ago into the 9th inning. Cam Schlittler, we saw him a couple of times last year. He is unhittable. Some good arms going early this season across the baseball landscape. 7-2 Twins here in the 5th.
We see the rookie Prelup making his 2nd start. We see Castillo out there making his 249th career start. And this is kind of what you do with a veteran. Even though he's given up 7 runs, Dan Wilson's trying to save his bullpen as much as he can. And Castillo's just going to keep taking that ball and with an understanding that, hey, I got to get this thing a little deeper into the game to save our bullpen. This is game 1 of the series. Pitch count still in decent shape to be pitching. It's not like you're overextending him at this point. But I'm sure he would love to try and save that bullpen, get another inning out of himself.
1-2 now on Jeffers. And Seattle has righty Cole Wilcox now in the bullpen. Up the middle, off the bare hand of Castillo. Young backhands and makes the play. That's always a pitching no-no, right? On a comebacker, don't use your pitching hand to try and make the play, but Castillo's all smiles. But Dan Wolfson's going to take a look at his starter, and remember the training staff will join here as well.
Yeah, please don't ever do that. It's just instincts. You see a ball coming at you, you feel like you got to protect yourself, and kind of grazed off the side of his hand. He's lucky that didn't get that pinky finger. He's smiling. He's still smiling, so he's all right. Naylor appreciated a throw in the chest as well.
So one away, and here comes Cody Clemens. And last time we saw Cody, he did this. A 3-run homer to the dock and right. This home run swing powered by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. For every Twins home run into the Treasure Island home run deck, Treasure Island donates $2,500 to the Twins Community Fund in support of the Junior Twins Equipment Kit program.
And hook 'em horns. 2 for 4 in his career off of Castillo. Both of those hits home runs. Should get 3 starts in this series.
And a good run for these lefties. And the Twins lineup, many of them have not seen consistent playing time with the abundance, just the amount of left-handed starting pitching the Twins have seen. That should not be the case in this series. Smack to right, and Refsnyder makes the play for out number 2.
Another bullet, 101 off the bat. Got a change up there, just didn't hit it high enough.
Keyshaw jersey for sale at the team store, and the real thing coming up right now. Here in the 5th inning, Keyshaw 1 for 2 RBI double and a ground out to third. Now Keyshaw here lately, Morning, for the time being, not hitting second or third. He's been hitting 6th and 7th here lately.
Yeah, take a little pressure off, see if you can get him going a little bit. And he'll tell you he doesn't care where he hits as long as he gets to play. He's one of those guys that doesn't make excuses. Just going out there, trying to figure it out at the big league level. A lot of learning still happening.
And just working hard every single day. In the cage with the hitting team. He'll break out of it.
Yeah, it won't be from lack of hard work, that's for sure.
Ahead 2-1.
It's so hard at this stage in your career with just not a lot of big league experience. And how do you react to the struggles? Do you have a feel of how they're trying to get you out? What are they doing? Are they going to certain areas? Are they setting you up certain ways? Or are you just trying to do a little too much? And I think tension is your enemy in a swing. And the more baseball, unfortunately, the harder you try, sometimes it works against you. And I think Keyshaw's a guy who wants to do so well and is going to work his way through everything.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. And Castillo has his second 1-2-3 inning here tonight. Welcome back. The night is over for Connor Prelip, and pitched deep enough in this game, Morning, to qualify for his first major league win.
Yeah, pretty good home debut. Grinded his way through the end of that outing. The leadoff walks, I'm sure, is something that he'll look at, maybe like to clean up a little bit, but the stuff was electric. He was able to generate swing and miss with that slider. Also threw a couple of good curveballs. Fastball velocity was there. A lot of good things. And hopefully the bullpen's able to hold on. He'll end up getting himself a beer shower in the locker room after, but still got some outs to get between then and now.
One rookie follows another as Morris is on for the 4th time in his big league career. We'll see some velo here from the 24-year-old Andrew Morris.
He's got a lot of pitches coming out of that bullpen, that starter's repertoire. Yeah, you mentioned the velocity, averaging over 95 miles an hour with that fastball.
Last work 4 days ago. Gave up 2 runs against the Mets. Now low 3-1 on Raleigh. First at bat, left-handed. Rodriguez and then Naylor. 2 out to first, and Clemens to the bag. And Raleigh now 0 for 3. And 1 down here in the 6th.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
So 1 away for Rodriguez, who made his major league debut at this ballpark April 8th, 2022. Ended up being named the Rookie of the Year that year, and it did not take long to see that this guy was going to be a star. Three-time All-Star already, a 2-time Silver Slugger winner. And some great moments in the postseason last year. That's going to be a fair ball. Morris will pick it up with his bare hand and complete the play. Well, you talk about this all the time. And it looked like the temptation was there for Morris to pick it up with his glove and not the hand.
Thankfully, he didn't do that. That ball's stopped. You go bare hand, you plant that foot, and he already had the angle set with that ball ended up. So a nice job of throwing a strike over there, Cody.
Josh Naylor swinging at the first pitch at a very high rate this season, and does it again here.
He is very aggressive in the strike zone. You got to be ready to make quality pitches from the start of the at-bat. And struggling really against breaking stuff this year, not hitting fastballs the way he has in the past. It's so interesting to see a lot of guys who played the World Baseball Classic on this Mariners roster, also on the Twins roster. And so many guys that played that WBC got off to slow starts, and kind of seeing him coming around lately. Naylor, one of those guys who's been swinging it better lately. Cal Raleigh, Buxton as well. How much of an impact? They will never use that as an excuse. I'll do it for him.
The 1-2 to Naylor. Popped up, and Tristan Gray, plenty of room. Nice inning from Andrew Morris, retiring Raleigh, Rodriguez, and Naylor in order. Brand new addition to the artwork here at Target Field. Roger Martin has details when we come back.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram. Earlier today, the Twins unveiled their Baseball Heroes mural on the main concourse of Target Field. The mural honors and celebrates some of the greatest African-American players who have ties to the upper Midwest. It's the work of Antoine Jenkins, a self-taught artist from right here in Minneapolis. It includes players like Kirby Puckett, Willie Mays, Satchel Paige, just to name a few. In all, there's 14 players on that mural, all who have helped to shape the past, present, and future of the game we all love, guys.
Audra, thank you. That is a beautiful new addition to this gorgeous ballpark, and certainly worth your time next time you visit the ballpark here in downtown Minneapolis. We take a look at the new arm on the mound for the Mariners and righty Cole Wilcox as he takes over with the Twins up by 5. Wilcox has allowed at least 1 run in each or 4 of his last 5 appearances.
It's going to be slider over everything else, but four-seam sweeper to the lefties.
Wallner past the mound. Cole Young with a chance and just beats Wallner.
It's just so hard for these hitters with these arms coming out of the bullpen, but you're not just facing 2-pitch guys anymore. It's guys throwing sliders more than their 96 or 97 mile an hour fastballs, and just doing a good job of keeping these hitters off balance, mixing everything up. So it's not like when that bullpen door opens and you have a 5-run lead that, you know, you're going to be facing a guy that's no longer good enough to start. You're facing a power arm coming out of there.
Yeah, provided 2 innings of work out of the bullpen. Wilcox did when he last threw 6 days ago. Tristan Gray has had a good night, offensively and defensively. He's been out twice, a single, a run, and a walk. The 1-1. Wilcox drafted by the Padres, 3rd-round pick in 2020. Another hit for Gray. 3rd time he has reached. And the Twins have a man on, leading by 5. And Byron Buxton will bat.
That's that sweeper that he likes to go to for swing and miss against left-handed hitters, but does a great job of pulling those hands in to get that barrel to that ball. And Buck
elevated to his liking.
Buck loves it, I'm sure. Coming up with traffic on.
And Gray was on when Byron went deep against Castillo last time up. As the slider misses away, ball 1. You know, Byron, if he did not go pro right away in 2012, the 2nd overall pick by the Twins, he had a chance to play football at the University of Georgia. The guy on the mound played baseball at the University of Georgia in Cole Wilcox. I've asked Byron over the years about, do you miss football? He said no. No, it was fun, but no.
I'm good.
I'm good. It's worked out okay. One and 2.
Well, there's no doubt with his athleticism, whatever he decided to do, he probably would have been pretty good at it. But we're thankful that he got to wear a Twins uniform and get to watch him put that athleticism on display for us. Whether it's running around the bases or running balls down in center field.
I believe he was going to play safety too. If he opted to play college football, he was going to be on the defensive side and play safety. Gray at first, 1 out. Now the 2-2 to Byron. 3 and 2.
5-run lead. Do you put him in motion?
I do. You?
Just part of it is, though, that he's not really a double play candidate.
Runner goes, ball 4 outside. So a single and now a walk, and the Twins have 2 on. For a hot hitter right now, Brooks Lee 0 for 3 tonight, despite some good contact.
That was a good call there. Part of what I was saying, a lot of times you put that runner in motion, you're anticipating maybe a ground ball, something put on the ground, but with Buxton it's different because he's so hard to double up. Unless he hits it 110 off the bat, you're going to have to make up, field it perfectly, perfect feed, and a good throw to first. So, but Twins with a lead, playing it aggressive. Buck does put that ball in play, then you've got motion on the bases, all kinds of stuff going on, but that will present an opportunity for Brooks Lee.
Wilcox has now walked 7 batters in just over 10 innings thrown this year. And here is Lee hitting .450 with runners in scoring position. 0 for 3 tonight. And it doesn't bite on the changeup.
Good take right there. That's something early in the year that he was making it out on that pitch early in an at bat. So Buck, as the trail runner here with Gray in front of him, it's a tough play for the runner at first base. As you see, he's kind of got his body positioned toward Gray. He's seeing if he goes, he wants to be in a position to go. So he's in a spot where, see his eyes, you can kind of see everything.
Rivas to third. Young, no return throw. And so the Mariners get the out at second on Buxton. Gray moves to third, and Lee is safe on the fielder's choice. And here comes Trevor Larnach with 2 on, 2 out, and the Twins looking to build on a 5-run lead. Around Major League Baseball, it was not a dull weekend. Boy, how about what took place with the Red Sox overhauling the coaching staff, including manager Alex Cora. The Mets were swept by the Rockies. Only 9 wins this season for New York, and Chris Sale continues to just add to an incredible career. More than 2,600 strikeouts and counting for the great Chris Sale.
Just so good to see that late, middle to late career renaissance. Dealt with injuries. Was one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball, and then had a run of just tough luck. Couldn't stay healthy. Got hurt riding a bike. I mean,
grounded past the mound near second. Hit the bag. It scores Gray. Lee motors to third base, and the Twins catch a break and lead 8-2. And Larnach all smiles for good reason.
That's good, clean living right there. For every time he's lined out, hit a ball right at somebody on the screws, he'll take that every day of the week. And good to see the Twins' luck turning. And Crawford did what he could to try and go and get that ball, but this is a point we made early in the year. I think it was in that first homestand, how we hadn't seen many balls hit the base. We anticipated with those bigger bases we'd see it more often, and now I think we've seen it 3 times at home already this year.
Yeah, the bases were 15 inches, now 18 inches. And it leads to the 8th Twins run tonight. I'm with you. I thought it would happen more, that there would just be more balls in play that would somehow find the bases.
Especially out at second. A lot of balls rolling through that middle part of the field.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, Larnach will take it.
One and 2 on Bell. DHing here tonight. Josh has scored 2 of the 8 Twins runs. Pulled foul as Larnach was on the move.
Yeah, well, Wilcox throws more off speed, and you mentioned the walks, more off speed than fastball, so maybe trying to pick a pitch there to take off on. Also, maybe they don't throw through. Maybe you get another runner in scoring position.
Perhaps one of those two where if they do throw, Larnach stops, and then Lee reads that ahead, watching all the traffic, and tries to score. They see teams try this play from time to time, even without big-time speed guys at the corners. Larnach takes off, pitches low, and Garver.
And he was stopping there.
Does not throw.
So he was looking up as he was going in, and he got about 2/3 of the way to second base, and then he kind of puts on the brakes right there. That little stutter step. And had he thrown through, for sure he was getting in a rundown trying to get Brooks home.
Well, that's how Wilcox picked up the tempo there a little bit. 96, and Bell stays alive.
But see, that's just playing for that add-on run, and if something crazy does happen, you get out, then you have Bell leading off the next inning with a new at-bat. But the thought there was, may as well make it 9-2. See if Bell can make it 10-2.
2-2 pitch to center field, and shallow for Rodriguez. Catch is made, and the inning ends. Twins add a run on a Larnach RBI single. Twins and the Mariners, Buxton, Rodriguez, the Stars on display here this week at Target Field, and the good guys lead by 6. Welcome back. Last call to get the triple play bundle. Build your own game plan, but you buy 2 games and you get the third one free. Get yours right now. Twins.com/triple-play-bundle. But hurry, because the offer ends April 30th.
Did you call that a 3 for 2?
Sure. Not 2 for 3, 3 for 2, Morning. Good idea. Triple play bundle. Randy Arozarena just passed the outstretched arm of Keyshaw. And a leadoff single for the two-time All-Star, Randy Arozarena. And the Mariners have a man on, down 6 here against Andrew Morse.
Well, he got in the kitchen right here. Keyshaw made a good effort on this ball, just couldn't quite get there.
Now Crawford, he walked and scored back in the 2-run Seattle 5th. Crawford, 31 years old. He could be a free agent at season's end. Former high draft pick by the Phillies, but he has spent the bulk of his big league career with Seattle. Line to center, and Buxton now coming in and over. And Arozarena back to first, one away.
He squared this up. Hard to tell if this ball was knuckling on the way out there to Buck. But it kind of started over right towards right center, then came back to him. Watch how this ball sails and gets up there. It starts in right center, and then watch late how that ball just kind of ran back towards him. And no panic from Buck. That's why he's got a platinum glove out there.
Garver back to the mound. Morris will look to second, and boy, throws a fastball to first. And Cody Clemens makes the play to second. Arozarena 2 down.
I mean, you're up by 6. Make sure you're getting out there. Garver running potential for a double play, but nice job of keeping his composure and not rushing it and throwing it into center field. Sometimes you'll see young players try and do a little too much.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. You have a 6-run lead. Let's not open things up here for a potential big inning. Now get the out. So 2 down. Arozarena, yes, in scoring position, but 2 away here in the 7th. Cole Young down to strike. 0-2. But no lob there for Morris either. Morty, if you're playing first base, it's coming in hot.
But there's, I mean, hopefully you figure that out doing pitcher fielding practice in spring training. Hey, this guy can only throw to first base hard. You know, there's some guys that just don't have the ability to lob that ball. And it's very important as a first baseman to know that. Or whether it just kind of maybe sped up on him and he looked at second and felt like he had to get it out of his hand.
Morrissey was in camp with the Twins before being optioned out. 3 games, 1 start with the Twins during Grapefruit League play. An option to St. Paul on March 9th. Save there from Jeffers. And Morris hoping for a healthy 2026. He missed time last year, roughly 6 weeks, with a forearm injury. 4th round pick in 2022 out of Texas Tech. Arozarena at second base and 2 down. A night game tomorrow, day game Wednesday, and then the Blue Jays come to town for 4 starting on Thursday night. The Twins were not scheduled, I believe, to see Max Scherzer in the Blue Jays series, and Scherzer won't happen anyway. Put on the injured list with a forearm injury. He is 1 strikeout shy of 3,500. And he's on the IL with a forearm injury. 1 strikeout shy of number 3,500. And his future Hall of Fame career as Morris 95 with the fastball strikes out Young, and the inning is over.
Shines a blue moon.
Couple of big home runs in our game summary brought to you by Toyota. One from that guy, Cody Clemens, with his third long ball of the season. That would make it a 5-0 lead. The following frame, it was that guy, Byron Buxton, with his sixth of the season, all behind Connor Breelip with another great outing, putting he and the Twins in a good position here. 5 innings of work, 2 runs on 1 hit, a couple of walks, but 5 strikeouts on the night, guys.
Roger, thank you very much. Yeah, it was Breelip and Rojas, the 2 rookies in New York. It's been Breelip and Morris on the mound, 2 rookies here tonight against Seattle. As the Twins bat against Wilcox in the 7th, and Ryan Jeffers has an RBI tonight, 1 for 3. Jeffers, Clemens, and Keishall to bat against Wilcox. Twins scored 1 against Wilcox last inning. Now 2-2. Twins lost the season series against Seattle last year, dropping 4 of the 7 head-to-head. Well, Ryan Jeffers, let's go back to his RBI. Morning.
You mentioned 1 for 3, and for a guy with 2 strikes who's willing to choke up, let the ball get deep, and then just fight it off and shoot it the other way, yes, you can be a little bit vulnerable to a fastball in, but it allows you to cover so many more pitches, and it also takes away kind of that slider down and away. So maybe if he doesn't have that approach, or if he doesn't have that reputation of being a guy with 2 strikes who's willing to let that ball travel, maybe you do try and get that slider down and away for the strikeout there. But once you build that reputation, it becomes more difficult to try and get you out with 2 strikes, and Jeffers took advantage of that earlier in the game.
And draws a walk here. So second time he has reached, and the second walk issued by Wilcox. You know, Morty, we focus on Jeffers and the hands with 2 strikes, but do you notice anything with his lower half? Anything with his stance with 2 strikes?
Well, I think he talks about getting in his legs more, and whether it's shortening that stride or trying to keep that weight back a little bit longer, and sometimes you have to sacrifice some power for that, but I think you're still going to hammer that hanging breaking ball that comes in there. It's kind of it's as much a mental approach as it is a physical approach, and I think to just be willing to get jammed every once in a while, to be willing to get beat inside every once in a while, and just fight off pitches. Just kind of it right there. Just choke up, shorten up, and find a way to move that ball forward or keep an at-bat alive for a better pitch. That's something he's worked on the last couple of years, something he really put a lot of emphasis on. And then once you get comfortable hitting with 2 strikes like that, sometimes tougher matchups, you go to it earlier.
1-2 now on Cody. Enter the day with 2 homers and 3 runs batted in. Now has 3 homers and 6 RBI.
That ball's got, that sweeper's got some, man, that thing's got some movement. You see Clemens, that ball started to look like middle away and just kept following him. Did a good job of fighting that off. Like we mentioned with Jeffers, keeping the at-bat alive, and maybe you get a better pitch later in the at-bat.
And strike 3 on Clemens.
So that's something, you know, some guys will say, yes, I try and foul pitches off to keep an at-bat alive. It's a really hard thing to do. It's more, at least for me, it was mid-swing and you go, oh, that wasn't the pitch I thought it was, and I'm just going to try and stay alive. And it's not necessarily that you're trying to hit it over their dugout or anything like that. You're more just trying to get a piece of it because you got fooled. So it's not like he's standing on the mound, he hasn't thrown the pitch yet, and your thought is, let's see if I can foul this ball off. It's more as the ball's on its way to the plate, and you think, okay, that's either too close to take, or it's going to end up borderline, or you get fooled, and you just try and adjust in the middle of your swing.
Tap to third down the line. Here comes Rivas, and no play. Infield hit for Luke Keyshaw, his second hit tonight, and that moves Jeffers down to second.
Keyshaw will take that. He's trying to get his numbers moving upward. Saw a nice swing on a double the other way earlier in the game here. Just wet grass kind of eating it up, and Rivas understanding the speed of Keyshaw going down the line. That'll be the end of Wilcox Day.
40 pitches for Wilcox. Lefty Alex Hoppe ready to work for the Mariners, and Matt Wallner coming up with the Twins up by 6 and have 2 on here in the 7th. Major League debut for right-hander Alex Hoppe. And he's on to see Matt Wallner. So Hoppe this season at AAA Tacoma. And Matt Wallner's going to challenge
the first pitch he's throwing.
The very first pitch that Hoppe throws in his big league career is an ABS challenge. And the Twins are done as Wallner loses out with 12 strikeouts and 8 innings for Hoppe. And now here he is. In his big league debut, his numbers he saw at AAA Tacoma.
Yeah, pitch at the back end, he has 4 saves, or had 4 saves in Tacoma. So pitch at the back end of their bullpen.
6th round pick by the Red Sox in 2022. See the arsenal for Hoppe. Matt Wallner 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch earlier. And 97. Fouled back. Hoppe came to the Mariners in an offseason trade with the Red Sox. That deal happened back in November. And Wallner strikes out. And the very first big league strikeout for Hoppe comes here in the 7th inning. And there are 2 down.
Oh, it's a slider, but it's got really good depth to it. Almost kind of that reverse where it sort of backed up and went away from the left-handed hitter.
So 2 down for Tristan Gray. He's had a great night. Chance to make it even better. He's been on 3 times, 2 singles, 2 runs and a walk. Jeffers at second, Keyshaw at first. That slider inviting so far for the lefties. It's been down. One and 2.
Well, Buck, a guy he's never seen before, a guy making his major league debut, trying to get as close a look as he possibly can as you see him creeping into the left side of your screen there. This is something that Major League Baseball has said that they want to kind of clean up. Those batters closer to the on-deck circle, as well as the base coaches staying in or as close to those boxes as they can at first and third base. And Buck getting a good look, hoping to get a at-bat right here with some traffic.
And Gray strikes out. So Hoppe Two batters into his major league career. Strikes out Wallner, strikes out Gray. The Twins strand 2.
It's time to take a look at our upcoming schedule, brought to you by Progressive. We are kicking off a 7-game homestand here tonight at Target Field. 2 more to go against the visiting Mariners. Then come Thursday, it's a visit from Toronto. A 4-game set before the team has an off day on Monday, and then back out on the road, guys.
Audra, thank you. Joe Ryan, Logan Gilbert here tomorrow night. And Taj Bradley and George Kirby to wrap up the series Wednesday afternoon. Andrew Morris out for his 3rd inning of relief here tonight, facing Leo Rivas. Check swing and a strike on the switch hitting third baseman. 0 for 2 here tonight is Rivas.
There's some good pitching matchups in this series. It's like no matter when you play Seattle, it's going to be a good pitching matchup, but you know they're going to come at you. They're going to throw strikes. They're going to be around the plate. They're not going to walk many.
And that's why, too, Morty, I wasn't surprised that the Mariners made a deep run in the playoffs last year, because if they get in, they're going to be a tough team to beat, even in a short series, with the arms that the Mariners have had for a long time. He went 1 out.
I think it's why for so many years, or the last few years at least, everyone kind of picks them as their, you know, I don't know if sleeper is the right word with that rotation, but everyone kind of say sort of the same thing. Hey, if they can just get in, nobody really wants to match up with them because of the depth of that rotation, the arms, and they kind of proved that last year where they were 1 win away from going to the World Series.
For the first time ever.
Yep.
The Mariners have never been to a World Series in franchise history. Now 2 balls and no strikes on Rob Refsnyder. Rob Refsnyder, remember chatting with him during his time with the Twins in 2021, and he had a very close relationship with the late Mike Bell, Twins bench coach, who we lost a couple of years ago at a young age due to cancer. But Refsnyder, he had ties with the Arizona Diamondbacks in the past, and that's where Mike was. And part of the appeal for Rob to join the Twins when he did was to reconnect with Mike Bell. Again, on a professional level and a big league level. He singles to right, and now Cal Raleigh. Through 29 games. What Raleigh did last year and what he's doing so far this year. And this is hit a long way out to right, and that is gone out of the plaza near the gate 34 experience, and Raleigh with number 7. And the big dumper with a big swing, and it's 8-4.
He hit that ball almost 110 off the bat. And he has been heating up after a slow start. Got himself a cutter. And that fan picked the wrong side to sit on for the switch hitter. But that one just kind of just stayed in the middle of the plate. And you could tell by the sound that that ball was hit hard.
Rodriguez to right, and this will stay on the field of play for Wallner in the rain. Makes the catch for out number 2. Here in the 8th inning. First home run allowed by Morris in his big league career. And it came from that man. 7 now this season. It's 60 last year.
One of the most amazing things I saw kind of doing the dive on Rowley before this series started. He didn't have his first off day last year until June the 8th.
Amazing.
For a guy who catches a ton but also takes those at-bats as a DH. Just amazing. And Morris showing a little frustration maybe here with the mound. His landing spot. It has been raining for pretty much the entire game. There's a little puddle behind third, but I wonder if it's starting to affect his footing on the mound. And he's kind of slipping. That's 2 pitches in a row. He's kind of looked down at it. I think it's just uncomfortable as a pitcher. If you feel like you don't have your footing, then there's a potential for a slip, and then you hope it doesn't lead to something going into your arm or altering your delivery. See if you can find a spot he's comfortable landing in.
Again looks down as he walks Naylor on 4 pitches. First walk for Morris, and the inning continues now for Randy Arozarena. Good visit here from Jeffers. I think he noticed the same thing.
Yeah,
the body language here, and Pete Mackey will visit as well.
And as a pitcher, I believe you can request the home plate umpire to come out and, hey, take a look at this mound. It's pretty slippery out here. Let's see if we can make an adjustment. But you also don't want to be seen as, you know, somebody who's out there complaining or something along those lines. But if it's affecting your delivery and it's affecting your ability to throw strikes, it's kind of a tough thing to have to advocate for yourself. But he's going to go out there and he's going to continue to grind and make an adjustment.
This is not an insignificant moment in this game here. Yes, the Twins have a 4-run lead, but power hitter at the plate. And he's a swing away from making things quite interesting late here tonight. Slice to right, to the corner, Wallner over, and that's going to be off the wall. He plays the bounce perfectly, fires into second base, the tag, and he's out! The Moose played that perfectly, and Arozarena testing the arm of the pride of Forest Rake, and for now the inning is over. But the Mariners are going to challenge the play at second base.
Seattle is challenging the out call at second base.
Not a bad idea. 8th inning. Regardless if Seattle loses this challenge, they can still have any reviewable play looked at since we're at the 8th inning or later. Wallner played it perfectly, planted, fired to second. Lee, tag on Arozarena, and he thought he got there before the tag was applied by Lee.
The original call was out, so see if there's enough to overturn it. That was close. Great effort by Lee. Great throw by Wallner.
I think the Twins they're going back to play their defensive spots. I think the Twins think this is going to be overturned because Larnach is jogging back out to left field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's safe.
But Wallner set this up.
Did his foot pop up there with Lee?
Hold the tag
on. Hold the tag down for a moment. Now that first look, it looked like, yeah, Arozarena was safe. But then as the play continued and Arozarena's body kept sliding into and across the bag, was there a moment when his body was no longer engaged with the base while Lee had the tag. Watch this here. So foot down there.
After
tag
review,
down.
The call is confirmed. The runner's out.
Right. Great call.
So there it was right there. So not the initial tag, but then as the momentum was continuing with Arozarena, there was that moment. He was not engaged with the bag, and Wallner let that arm throw, man.
Tickets at twins.com.
We saw some power in the inning. A Cal Raleigh powerful swing, a home run, but then we saw one of the best outfield arms in the game, Matt Wallner, throw out Randy Arozarena to end the inning. And the Mariners scored 2. Twins lead is 4 as we start the home half of the 8th. Top of the order, Buxton, Lee, and Larnach. And the rookie Alex Hoppe back out for the 8th. He struck out Wallner and Gray in the 7th.
That's just such a hard play for Arozarena right there. Down by 4 runs, making it out on the bases to end the inning, kind of killing that rally. But at the same time, how do you not go to second on that ball? You're forcing the defense to make a perfect throw, catch, tag. They were able to get him out. But it never looks good when you're down by 4 and you make that out on the bases when, you know, you kind of had all the momentum in your favor there. But really hard to blame Randy on that play. He was hustling out of the box. Just got to give credit to Wallner for making a good throw.
2-2 on Buxton. A home run tonight, a walk. Officially 1 for 3. And how about this? Alex Hoppe has struck out the first 3 batters to begin his big league career. And this from a guy that threw an immaculate inning earlier this season for AAA Tacoma.
Well, he's got that slider that just kind of goes straight down. It's got depth. You see the spin, and you see the Twins hitters chasing it. Wonder how much conversation's happening in the dugout between the hitters. Hey, what'd you see? Guy making his major league debut. All right, what did that slider do? What did his fastball do? You have that little conversation, then you try and take that information up there with you and see if you can use it to your advantage. But he's making some pretty good pitches.
Hoppe took the roster spot of reliever Casey Legumina, who we just saw in Tampa with the Rays. Was acquired by the Rays from the Mariners after he was DFA'd, and Hoppe took his spot of the active roster. Now 3-0 on Brooks Lee with Trevor Larnach on deck.
The takes,
Cody Funderburk warming up in the bullpen.
The takes that Brooks is having as well, just looks like he's starting to see it pretty well out of the hand. Pitch recognition is good.
Now the Mariners say with Hoppe what we love about him, slider yes, but also has a good fastball. We're seeing that as well. Mid to upper 90s. And there's a walk to Lee on a fastball at 97. So Brooks is on here at the 8th inning with a 4-run lead. Don't miss a pitch all season long right here with Twins TV. Stream all games throughout Twins territory without blackouts, live or on demand for the entire 2026 regular season. Subscribe right now at twins.tv. Larnach a 2-hit night, including his 5th career triple. Scored back at the 4-run 3rd and an RBI single with a stolen base in the 6th. Our progressive wire cam. Twins looking to stop a 5-game losing streak. Now 2-0.
Wouldn't mind getting those 2 runs back here. After 1 strike in the last 6 pitches, see if Larnach can find something to his liking. Did throw Brooks that 2-0 slider. Man, this stuff's nasty. Moving all over the place. Green light.
Yeah, green light. Yeah, but also here you can just see too Hoppe taking his feet to the back of the mound, trying to get some of that dirt and clay out of his spikes. Larnach takes inside, and that is ball 4. So back-to-back walks from Hoppe to Lee and Larnach. And now Josh Bell has a chance. He has reached twice.
Yeah, we saw Morris kind of looking down at that mound last half inning. As we'll get James Outman going to come in to pinch run for Larnach. But just, is that affecting the delivery? We saw him 3 strikeouts in a row to the first 3 batters he faced. Or was it the fact that, you know, that up down, had the adrenaline rush of his first big league appearance through 8 pitches, You get all amped up, and then you go back out there and you try and repeat that. Then you start with the strikeout of Byron Buxton. Just lost the zone a little bit here.
Don't mind that take after back-to-back walks, right?
Yeah, force him to get in the zone. Bell's been around long enough to understand you got a guy out there making his major league debut. Back-to-back walks, force him to get back in the zone. Great take. It's a hard thing as a hitter. You take that first pitch fastball after a couple of walks, and it's maybe the best pitch you're going to get. And then all of a sudden he throws you that slider down and in. Real good depth to it. And nice job of not firing on that pitch.
A rocket to right, and Refsnyder makes the catch. He fires back to first base, and Outman is safe. Another hard hit ball from Josh Bell, but the play made by Refsnyder for out number 2.
108. Absolutely squared this ball up. This happened to him yesterday as well with a runner in scoring position in Tampa. Almost identical. Yeah, and Outman active on the bases right away after coming to pinch run for Larnach.
So now Ryan Jeffers with 2 outs. Anthony Bonda has joined Cody Funderburk in the bullpen. Hot shot, base hit left center. Brooks Lee scores. Outman to third base. It's an RBI single for Ryan Jeffers. It is now 9-4. Twins here in the 8th inning.
So I think this is kind of the benefit of paying attention on the bench, seeing what a guy's doing out there, looking what his sequence is, and then looking at the pitch that he's used most often. And he's gone to that slider quite a bit the time he's been out there. Not sure if Jeffers was sitting on it or just saw it out of the hand, but he absolutely squared that ball up. And just another good swing, good at bat, good approach with runner in scoring position, and good to get one of those runs back.
A 2-hit night for Jeffers. He's knocked in a pair. Now Cody Clemens batting once again with teammates on base. Twins scored a total of 5 runs against Tampa Bay over the weekend. 5 total in 3 games. They put up 9 alone tonight. One and one. Now Funderburk, he is now sat down. And Anthony Bonda, here's the lone Twin throwing. And Taylor Rogers now will join him. Runner goes, and Garver will not throw.
They were running it again, too. Jeffers went, looked like he was going to stop about 2/3 of the way. And then you had the speed of Outman on third base. Take a look at Jeffers, right side of your screen. Little oop. All right, I'll keep going.
Now, was Garver going to throw that time? Did he just lose the grip at his hand?
Or was he going to fake and see if he could get Outman off the base?
Line to center field. That's a base hit for Clemens. 1 run scores, 2 runs will score, so Clemens has knocked in 5, and the Twins have an 11-4 lead.
And that stolen base, not insignificant. Jeffers getting to second base. He's able to come around. Big night for Cody. I'm sure there is a little bit of you that relaxes knowing that, hey, we don't have 2 more lefty starters coming up. I don't need to get all my hits in this series in 1 game. Lets you breathe a little bit, and then he's able to find the barrel. Last time up as well, squared up that changeup he hit to right. Didn't get the result he wanted, but good contact all night from Cody Clemens.
Ball 1 to Keishall. 2-hit night for Luke. Twins have 11 runs on 12 hits. Three balls and no strikes on Keishall. Now the bullpen shuffling continues. Bondino is seated, and Taylor Rogers up in the pen. 3-2. Twins are 3 outs away from win number 13, but also big league win number 1 for Connor Prielipp in his second major league start. And that's ball 4. So Clemens to second. Keyshaw reaches for the 3rd time. The Twins have drawn now 7 walks as a team here tonight. And that has been a constant for the Twins offense. And yes, the run scoring has been up and down, the runners in scoring position, but the walk rate that the guys have maintained, it's been among the better walk rates going in the game. It came in 6th best in baseball entering play tonight.
Yeah, and you wondered how it was going to be against the team that only gives up a couple of walks a game.
Right, the lowest walk rate among starting pitching. And you're right, lowest walk rate combined, starters and bullpen in baseball.
And so, patience will pay off. You weren't expecting it. Also, maybe not the best night to come out here and pitch and see puddles kind of, you got shine on the infield, especially that left side of the infield, shortstop area. Hopefully, we're not going to have, whenever the Twins are done hitting, we don't have to have any that diamond dry anything come out, put on that field to clean it up a little bit.
Ball 1 to Matt Wallner.
Well, after the tough stretch that Wally's been going through, you'd love to see him come up with a hit, even if it's something that rolls up the middle between the shortstop and the second baseman, a little 27 hopper, as we used to say. And we've seen it before. When he struggles, it seems like the struggles last a little longer, but when he gets hot, he gets as hot as anybody. He starts barreling up that ball, and you never know when that's going to happen. You hope it's sooner than later.
8th Twin to bat this inning. Even you're looking for a spark, the catalyst, could that throw that he made to get a Rosarena, could that be what you're looking for?
Yeah, something positive.
2-2.
Just, is he seeing it? It's tough because he had the check swing on the breaking ball and then took the fastball in zone. Was he sitting slider after all the sliders he's thrown? Was that something he went up there looking for? Or is he just not really picking it up out of the hand at this point and just trying to find something?
2-2. Chop to first, and Naylor flips to Hoppy and just beats Wallner to the bag to end the inning. But the Twins add 3 more runs to go to the 9th, 11-4.
And welcome back. Twins up 11-4. This copyright telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
Big night for Cody Clemens. He has knocked in 5 runs, and the Twins are 3 outs away from ending their 5-game losing streak and ending the Mariners' 4-game winning streak as Taylor Rogers will try and grab these last 3 outs with Crawford, Garver, and Young due up. Rogers honored with 10 years of Major League service time on the last road trip. Very cool scene that took place in New York on Tuesday. With his family, his mom, dad, sister-in-law, 2 nephews, all surprising him for the moment in the Twins clubhouse before the game Tuesday night. A 2-1 count to J.P. Crawford. James Outman, after running for Larnach, stays in the game and left. Now 3-1. Brooks Lee behind second base and throws out Crawford. Out number 1. Rogers looked like he was trying to field that ball. Got by his glove, the mound, but Lee was there to make the play.
And Lee threw it right to that target in the middle of Cody Clemens' glove.
Check that out tomorrow. See it. Take a look at Cody's glove. And you'll see that big old bullseye he has on the inside. Really, I thought it was like, neat, you got a good endorsement deal with Target? Awesome. Makes a lot of sense. I said, no, this is for Brooks. Throw it here.
I'm guessing that's probably not allowed of personal advertisements inside the gloves. Well, we did see a Pokemon card in the back of a glove.
Who had that?
Probably should know the answer to that after saying that.
Yeah.
I assumed you did. You know everything.
Well, I know it's ball 3. On Mitch Garver, the sauce. Cole Young on deck. Garver's been on twice with an RBI single back in the 5th, and there's ball 4. And Garver facing his former teammate Rogers, battery mate, draws a walk against him.
Well, he's a veteran pitcher. He understands at this point in the game, don't want to be walking anybody, free passes, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Cole Young is 0 for 2 with a sac fly. That'll get foul. Play for Jeffers. You know, thinking more about Garver, mentioned earlier that it was a 9th round pick by the Twins in 2013, and there were no guarantees that he was going to stick at catcher. They loved his bat, but they just weren't sold that he was going to be able to have, forget a big league career, but a lengthy pro career behind the plate. To first, that's caught. Clemens to the bag, and the game ends on a double play. So hard contact from Young, but Clemens in the right spot takes it to the bag to double off Garver, and this one is over. The Twins snap their 5-game losing streak and beat the Mariners 11-4. Big night for Cody Clemens, big night for everybody, and congratulations Connor Prelip on his first Major League win. For Justin Morneau, Audra Martin, Corey Probus saying so long for now. Twins postgame with Marty and Tim is coming up next.